Oh, there we go. Good evening. Caught off guard. Good evening. Thank you to everybody waiting in the chat room. Over 30 people, 50 people watching live already. So thank you very much. Done a little calculation earlier. It's 7 weeks today. The transfer window slammed shut and we've signed absolutely nobody. We're linked to 1,000,001 different players. One player that's definitely not leaving right now to Atletico is Granit Xhaka, sadly. They've spent more money out on Marcus Llorente than the reports going around about Granit Xhaka. So all the people that put their tweets out saying that, what does it tell you that Granit Xhaka is being linked to a Simeone team, the best defensive coach in the world, and he wants Granit Xhaka. What does that tell you? Yep, all them type of people are now deleting their tweets. What a load of rubbish that was. Don't get why people rate Xhaka, and Simeone definitely doesn't. He spent more money out on Marcus Llorente, who joined today from Real Madrid. So we're stuck with Xhaka for now. We're linked to Wilfried Zaha again for about the 15th time in the last 12 months. But I just thought I'd do a stream and just see what everyone's thoughts are, whether you're confident going into the final 7 weeks, whether you guys think we need to ship players out first and which ones. And I'm going to give you my take on my thoughts, and then we'll go through some of the comments and questions as well. So first person that needs to go, I think, is Mesut Ozil. Don't care what he did 5 years ago. It's what he's doing now. In fact, what he's not doing now. And he's not doing a lot, so get rid. He's on the highest wage, as we know. That wage could be divvied up, chopped up, and put into 3 players' wages or into 2 players' wages. So he has to go. How we get him out is not going to be easy, but I do think it's possible. I think that, if apparently his marketing potential is so fantastic, and that's what people tell me, oh, he's so great, he brings so much money into the club. No, he don't. Do you seriously think that Adidas wouldn't have done the deal if Ozil was it? Come on, man. So let's blow that one out of the water. But I think that, if that is the case, that he does bring money in, like people keep telling me he does, he brings money into the club, then surely a club won't have any problem paying him 350 grand a week for 2 seasons, because they will get that money back. So then what we need to do as a club is say, right, just give us £1 million, £5 million, and you can have him. Yeah, that gets him off the wages. We get 1 to 5 million quid for him. And as stupid as that sounds, that is probably the only way we're going to get rid of the guy. Player number 2, Granit Xhaka. Get rid, not good enough, never been good enough. Since he's been here, we've finished 5th, 6th and 5th. Not good enough, mate. Get out. Bye. Mustafi, another one. Him and Xhaka, £70 million. Are they mad? Are Arsenal actually crazy? 70 million quid for them too. We'd be lucky if we got half of that back. Although saying that, Xhaka is on a long-term deal. I think he's got 4 years left, so we probably would get 35, 40 million quid for him if somebody is stupid enough to pay it. But how much are we getting from Mustafi? 10 mil? 15? I'd take anything for him right now. I'd take a glass of Coca-Cola and get rid of him and move him on, and then put all this money into... thank you for that, Malcolm. Appreciate that, buddy. Put that into investments into the squad. I think that Kolasinac can go. I'd get rid. Koscielny should go. Get rid. Monreal, get rid. And I don't buy into this notion and this rubbish of, oh yeah, but we need experience and we need leaders around the club. Well, where were the leaders in the cup final? Where were the leaders for the last 8 games of the season? So all of these players that are, just because they're older, it doesn't mean they're a leader. Just because they've won a couple of trophies with us, don't mean they've got any leadership qualities. It just means that we turned up well and played well on the day when we won our cup finals. Let's be real. Against Chelsea, we battered them. We got lucky against Hull City, and against Aston Villa, that was always a mismatch. So, these players are not. We're not a retirement home. That's how I'd put it. We're not a safety net for older players to go, well, yeah, well, they can teach the kids. They ain't teaching them nothing. Yeah, because let's be real, I don't want any of these players to teach any of them young kids coming through anything about how they've played for the last 5 years, some of these. Because if that is the case and they are doing that, we're fucked for another 5 years. so yeah, every single player in that squad that's been here for a few seasons or more, in my opinion, needs to go. But obviously, I'm realistic. You can't get rid of all of these people in one window. But ideally, if that was the case, I'd get rid of them ones. Now, players I'd like to see come in, I'll come to them in a minute. I'm just going to go through the players I think we should promote. Reiss Nelson has to start games. I said this on the stream yesterday. We could save ourselves £30 million. You don't know how good. You don't know how good a player is going to be when he comes in from a foreign league or even from the Premier League to Premier League. We've seen loads of instances over the years. Benteke going to Liverpool, Andy Carroll, Fernando Torres, Alexis Sanchez. They've all flopped at other clubs going from Premier League to Premier League. So, it's always it's always a gamble. It's always a risk, and it's always a risk even if you're going from Premier League to Premier League. But it's an even bigger risk when you've never played Premier League. So why not throw Reiss Nelson in? Why not put him in? Smith Rowe has to be first in the team, says Sergio. I agree. I was coming on to him next, mate. I think he should start games. I think that him and Reiss Nelson should be the two out of that group of young players we have that step up and make it into the first team next season. At the end of the day, are they going to perform any worse than what we've got? I don't think so. And if they do, oh well, you went and spunk 50 million quid on them. You've got them for next to nothing because you're just paying them, what, 10 grand, 5 grand a week, whatever they're on. Now, players I'd like to see come in. Oh, God, where do we start? Let's start with goalkeeper. I wouldn't mind taking the kid that looks like he's now going to Schalke. What's his name? Schubert. I'd take him. I think he'd be a happy number 2. I'd take Nick Pope. I think he'd be a happy number 2 as well. He ain't going to be one of these that spits his dummy out because he ain't playing games. Let's be honest, Leno is number 1. And if Leno stays fit for the majority of the season or all of the season, he ain't missing a game. You play your best keeper as far as I'm concerned. None of this cup bullshit of, play Czech in the cups, play Leno in. What a load of crap that was. Not that I blame Czech for that cup final because I think he actually kept the score down. So, yeah, I'd go with either one of them two. E2 says I'd use Martinez. I don't think he wants to be number 2, buddy. I think he wants to. Majib Ahmed says he deserves a chance as well. I think that he wants first team football. We can't give him that, and if we can't give him first team football, then bye. Get out. See ya. Thanks for a couple of games. Bye bye. Now into defence. Who do I want in defence? I'll take Manolas, Ben Mee, Lewis Dunk, Connor Cody. Obviously, I'm being realistic with these names. I'm not going to go for stupid names that we're never going to get. So yeah, that'd be my centre backs. Left back, Chilwell is going to cost too much money for us. Tierney, yeah, definitely. So I see somebody put something in saying, "Why are you mugging our league off yet you rate Tierney?" Can't remember. I can't see where that's gone now, mate. Your league is pony. Let's be real. Yeah, it is pony, and he's a standout performer in a pony league. The same as Kante was a standout performer in a pony league over in France. The same as Mahrez was. The same as a lot of the players are. Players do stand out in a crap league, believe it or not. That's football. But I would take both of them, Chilwell or Tierney. Tierney is the most viable option. The lad from Southampton, I'm not so sure. I probably would take him because I just don't want Kolasinac here. So is he any worse than Kolasinac? Probably not. Midfield, like I said, Smith Rowe needs to go in that midfield at some point. Decore, I'll take him. Who else? I see. Have you noticed a theme here as well? They're all Premier League, these defenders and midfielders. I don't want us to keep going and buying players that are not experienced in our league. And I know that contradicts what I said about going from one club to the next. And you could still flop. And Didi, that's another shout. That'd be expensive. But at the end of the day, I just want players that are in our team that will do more than the crap that we've got. And it needs to be a hell of a lot more. Because let's be honest, we've been shocking for 3 seasons. In fact, we've actually been shocking for more than 3 seasons. but we were getting away with it, and everyone was knocking one out. Oh, we finish in the top 4. Who gives a fuck? Seriously, who cared? Who cares? You know, fourth is third loser. I want to win a title. Right now, that ain't possible. So I couldn't care less. And I said this last season, I couldn't care less if we finished Champions League or not. If we won the trophy, then fantastic. And if you get the bonus of getting Champions League, cool. We didn't win the trophy and we didn't get Champions League. Do I care we ain't in Champions League? No. We've got a chance to win a trophy. If we were in that, it's all about the money. And as everyone keeps trying to tell me, Stan Kroenke loves the money. So yeah, he's probably fuming we're in the Europa League because obviously it is less money. But I've enjoyed the Europa League. I've enjoyed seeing us play against different teams in different countries and different parts of the world with an actual chance to go and win a trophy. And 2 seasons in a row, under 2 different managers, we've got to a final and a semi-final. Now, next season, I expect us to win it. And if we don't win it, I'll be disappointed. But my aim, yeah, it'd be great to get in the Champions League again, cool. But why get in it if we're just going to get slapped about in it and just going in it to try and get out the group stage? You know, Tottenham showed this season, go in it and try and win it. And they got all the way to the final, which is what we've done once in that competition in 20 odd attempts. Excuse me. So I don't care about Champions League. I just care about my team, my club, being back up there and challenging for honours. And that ain't going to happen right now. So we all need to suck it up and we all need to just evaluate where we are as a football club. And that ain't down to an owner. That ain't down to one manager or one player or anything like that. That is down to a decade of piss poor management from a hell of a lot of people, most of which are not at this football club anymore. And it's going to take us 3 or 4 more seasons to get back to where we want to be, maybe even longer. So yeah, there's my midfield. Wingers, I think we need wingers. I think I'd go with Fraser, definitely. I think he's the best option. And for the price as well, it's relatively cheap. So why not get Ryan Fraser? And like I said, Reece Nelson should come in. Then you've got Iwobi, Nelson and Fraser as 3 wingers. Mkhitaryan, that was another one on my list I should have put on the back, getting rid. But yeah, unfortunately, he's still here right now. But I don't know. I'm just, I'm not disappointed. Well, I am disappointed that we haven't gone and brought anybody yet, but I'm not panicking. You know, at the end of the day, it was only last summer we went out and signed all the players in one hit. And guess what? We still finished 5th. So maybe this year they're going to do it back to front, go out and do it all last minute and finish 4th. Who knows? But I just think that, you know, sometimes our fans just like wind me up. They properly wind me up. It's like all day today I've seen on social media, get Kroenke out, get Kroenke out. Like he's going to listen to somebody on fucking Twitter. Oh yeah, I'll tell you what, let me just pack up my bags, yeah, and phone somebody up and see if they want to buy the club. Come on, man, seriously. You know, we see at the protest when we protested to get the previous manager out, how many people have got all the talk online and how many people have actually turned up to a protest. So it's all well and good sitting online, giving it all the Bertie. Yeah. Most of these people ain't even going to fucking show up to the ground to protest. So what's the point? You know, we might as well just crack on as we are and hope that the current regime fix the mess that was left behind. Wenger wasn't the problem. Jeez, I'm stopped reading that. I won't read the rest of that. That's embarrassing, mate. Wenger wasn't the problem. Jesus Christ. Tierney ain't all that. Wenger protected Kroenke. Do you know what, Matty, right? I think there is some truth in that. But listen, I'm getting so bored of talking about how a football club runs. And listen, I don't know the ins and outs of every bit of football that or chat that goes on at a football club, right? One thing I do know is, right, when this guy took over as full owner, that was only 6 months ago. So before that, everyone else had a share and an input, right? And he's been here for a decade, which is, funny enough, after we moved to the Emirates to be self-sufficient. We're being self-sufficient, so what's the issue? I don't get why anyone's blaming him for. I just genuinely don't get it. Not only that, the season we brought Mustafi and Xhaka, who else did we buy that season? Somebody sent me this as a text earlier, so big up yourself, Zach. Where is it? There we go. Perez, Mustafi and Xhaka. That summer we spent £90 million. £90 million that summer, yeah? Plus the wage bill of 210 million. That is £300 million for one season. One season. But apparently this guy don't invest. And then why would he? That we're using our own money. There's £300 million going on one summer window and wages. And then but when people talk about spend, all they talk about is transfers. But it should be total spend, including wages. 100%. He's spot on. What my pal's saying is spot on. At the end of the day, yeah, it's great to go, oh, yeah, well, we only spent 30 million, or we've only got 40 million, or we've only got 20 million, whatever it may be. 90 million is nothing. Well, it is if you spend it properly, mate. It is. If you spend it properly, then it is. It's as simple as that. And if you've got a manager that can do his job properly, then there you go, you know. But we didn't have that, and we didn't spend properly. Spending £90 million in that transfer window, and £70 million of that was on Granit fucking Xhaka and Mustafi. 70 million. Let that sink in. 70 million. And we put them on 75 grand a week. That's another 7 million a year. I think Xhaka's on more than that now. He signed a new deal. So we were paying out 7 million a year for them two, plus 70 million pounds. And people are trying to tell me, yeah, that this is the owner's fault. Come on, man. Seriously, Wenger weren't the problem. Jesus Christ. I don't believe we have 40 million. Our board are playing games. It's all bullshit. Absolutely spot on, mate. Absolutely spot on, Jay. The 40 million, I've explained this a million times, and people still think I ain't got a clue what I'm talking about. You don't pay a transfer fee up front. You pay it over installments. So a 40 million budget is not a 40 million budget. It could be 140 million. Depends who you buy and how much they want up front and how much they want on payments and installments and when they want it and bonuses and stuff like that. Kante was 35 million. Do you know what? Kante was actually 32 million. But his wages were higher than Granit Xhaka's. So the total package for Kante worked out a couple of £1 million more than it would for Mustafi. Sorry, Xhaka. Hence why we opted for Granit Xhaka. Well done, mate. Another masterstroke. Jesus Christ. The things people do to protect that guy, man, I swear. Like, the crap people come out with. If anyone can't see that he was the biggest problem at the club, then I feel sorry for you, man. I feel sorry for you. Would you take Thomas Partey from Atletico? Says our stories. I think I would, mate. If Torreira's leaving as well, then I think we're going to need him, buddy. So, but even if he doesn't leave, I'd get rid of Xhaka and put him next to him. They're both more mobile than Granit Xhaka, and they're both pretty good defensive side of the game as well, aren't they? So, yeah, I would take him. Lee, become the manager. Mate, trust me, I'd be hooking a lot of these players straight out of the club if I was manager. Sergio, thank you for that, mate. We have sold Ospina for 4 million. Why are Arsenal asking for 10 million for Jenkinson? He's pony. Well, apparently I was fake news the other day when I said Ospina was going to Napoli, but there we go. Proof in the pudding again. You're lying. Stop making up transfer rumours, I got told the other day by somebody. Arsenal asking for 10 million for Jenkinson. Firstly, I'd like to say that's a joke. That's another masterstroke from the previous regime. £4 million for an international goalkeeper. But that's what happens when you let them run their contracts down. Cole Jenkinson, mate, we should knock the zero off of that 10 million and call it 1 million, and we'll drive him there. Pay for his flights or whatever. Because, listen, he ain't a £10 million footballer, mate. And he's been robbing a living for years. But because he's a local lad and because he's an Arsenal fan, we all sing his name, and Jenko is a gooner. Load of fucking rubbish. Not good enough. Not good enough. Good afternoon, good evening, Claude. If you ain't subscribed to Claude TV, what the fuck are you waiting for? Go and click on his icon. Scroll back to his comment. Go and click on his icon. Very close to 20k, I think you are now, isn't it, Claude? So yeah, doing very well. It's time to go. Exactly. What did you make of Alex Son's time at Arsenal? says VJ. I thought he was a good player. I thought he was underrated for Arsenal, man. And if you look at the season when Van Persie scored all them goals, a lot of the assists that season, and when I say assists, right, I don't like that stat. I don't like it. I think it's just the biggest load of bollocks. Oh, he got an assist. Yeah, and fucking what? He done nothing the rest of the game. Oh yeah, but he got the assist, and now it's gone to pre-cum assist because he ain't getting assist. It's now, oh, let's go to the pre-assist. Fucking, for doing that, we might as well go back to Leno and start there as well. But as for Alex Song, with the assists, his assists were actually genuine, proper assists. Yeah, none of this, 5-yard pass and then the guys running around 4 players and burying it. He was putting them on a plate for Van Persie that season, and it was absolutely fantastic to watch. And it was a shame we then sold Van Persie. But yeah, I thought he was an underrated player, and he went to Barcelona and totally ruined his career, mate, like Alex Kleb did as well. Assisted Thierry Henry versus Leeds. Mate, I nearly cried when that goal went in. I nearly cried. You just knew Henry was going to come on and score the goal. You just knew it was happening, man. Thoughts on Loftus-Cheek, says Jumbo. Sorry, mate. I think he's a good player. He's a very good player, and obviously he plays for Chelsea. So, they've got themselves a decent player going forward, mate. And I think he should have played more of the World Cup when we got to the semi-final. I think he should have played more in that run to the semi-final. He didn't really get enough minutes in that World Cup for me. Would you give... Here we go. This is a great question because I've seen an absolute wank fest for this kid as well. Great question, Bob. Would you give Christian Bilic a try in the first team next season? We need a combative, deep-lying midfielder. And that weren't a dig at you either, Bob. Yeah, I'm just saying there's a lot of people that are hyping up this guy when he's done nothing for Arsenal Football Club. And all of his performances were in 2 divisions lower. At least when I hype up Reiss Nelson, he's done it in a first team, in a Bundesliga first team. This guy has done it in a team. Yes, they got promoted. But nah, this guy is not good enough for Arsenal Football Club. I don't care what he can do on his Instagram stories with his kick-ups and all that crap. I don't care if he played for Charlton and was one of their best players and helped get promotion. Not for me. Get rid of him. Sell him to Charlton. Sell him to wherever. He's not good enough. I don't think he's quick enough either to be a midfielder, if I'm being honest. So no, I don't rate him one bit. It does make me laugh. A lot of people will say no to Reiss Nelson, but then sit there and kiss this geezer's ass. Don't get it. Genuinely don't get it. Nearly 500 people watching live. Wow, thank you very much. Not even 100 likes. Come on, people. Slap the like. Slap the likes. Would you like to see Fekir join Arsenal, says Connor White. I don't know, mate, if I'm being honest. Excuse me. I don't know. I think he's a very good player, don't get me wrong, but I don't know, mate. I personally, I think he's going to end up at Liverpool anyway. So I don't think we're getting him, but I don't think that he's going to add that extra layer of quality, like a couple of levels higher quality. I think he's quite injury prone as well. I think that, yes, he scores goals, he creates goals, but come on, man, we create and score anyway. So I'd rather focus on the defensive side of it. Ghost says, where's that gone? I've lost it. Bielik getting slaughtered for not playing for Arsenal. The kid was sent on loan. Of course he hasn't done fuck all for us. Well, Reiss Nelson played for Arsenal, mate, and then he went on loan as well. So I don't know what that says about the two of them and where they're at in their development, but Reiss Nelson was playing games for Arsenal. Bielik hasn't and wasn't. So he's gone straight on loan. Reiss Nelson got straight in the first team. Not every week, granted. It was Europa League and League Cup games, but he still played in the first team. And like I've said before on here, when you've got an academy, and most of these big clubs have wicked academies now with fucking hundreds of players in them. not many of them, if any of them, are going to make it at that football club. So Chelsea, for example, have got 20,000 kids. One of them, if he's lucky, is going to make that at Chelsea. The rest of them will all be shipped off elsewhere. Bielik is a championship player, Teesside Boxing says. I agree, mate. I don't think he's good enough. I genuinely don't. Do you think Emery realises how shit Granit Xhaka is? Why does he play him so often last season? Do you know what? I think the reason he played him so often last season is because, and this is saying, I've seen a lot as well. 2 managers have played Granit Xhaka whole seasons. That means that they both rate him and you don't understand what he does. No, that's because we haven't got any other fucking option in that midfield to sit and put next to a Torreira. Who are we going to put there? Let's be real. Who is going to slot in right next to Torreira next season if we don't buy someone? Joe Willock? I'd actually play Joe Willock there. I'd put Joe Willock in over Granit Xhaka. That's how much I can't stand Granit Xhaka. When he's on the pitch, he just makes me nervous. Yeah, makes me nervous. You know he's going to fuck up at some point and play someone clean through. Demetrios, thanks for your donation, my friend. What other fan bases do you hate? Personally, for me, I hate Chelsea. They chat crap when they win, but fucking ghost when they lose. Nothing but plastic. Oh, shit. To be honest, I don't really hate any fan bases. And the thing is, this is funny as well, right? Because our fan base seem to think Tottenham's fan base are deluded. When you actually meet face to face with a Tottenham fan, not these kids that sit online chatting the most fucking obscure shit to get likes and retweets, but when you actually meet a Tottenham fan, they're the most down to earth and know where they're at as a club fans that I've met. But that's enough of bigging them up for now. I'd say the worst fans. In terms of being the mouthiest of Man United. I think they're the worst. But yeah, Chelsea, listen, you can't really mug Chelsea fans off. They win trophies. So yeah, there we go. Do you think Arsenal should have tried to get Company before he went to Anderlecht, says the random vlog? I don't think we had any chance on that, my friend. I think that was probably already done all the way through the season because it happened very, very quickly. Would you have Kieran Gibbs back, says 7 for Risha? No, I wouldn't, mate. I wouldn't. That was another one. Another masterstroke from the previous regime. Reject a bid for 10 million and then selling 4 days later for 7 million. Well done, mate. The amount of fucking money this club has spunked and thrown down the fucking Swanee is just unbelievable. Thoughts on Schengen's under of AS Roma, says VJ. Good player, very good player, mate. I don't think he's coming to us though. Are the rumours of Man United being interested in Aubameyang true? Says Eric. Probably not. It was Andy Goldstein that said that he has a source close to the club that knows the ins and outs of what they're up to, and apparently they want Aubameyang. So how true it is, I don't know. I've never met Andy Goldstein. I listened to his show. He is quite funny, but whether that's true or not remains to be seen. I suppose we'll see if they put a bid in for him. Black Scorpion in the building. Good evening, Ola. Hope you're well, man. Yeah, I'm not quite back to good health yet either. I'm getting there, man. I'm getting there. It's sort of working its way down from here down into the chest now. So yeah, I was coughing up some nasty stuff this morning, man. Do you rate Nathan Ake? Yes, I do, Philip. I think I do. I would take him at Arsenal. could do a straight swap. Send Mustafi down there and get Nathan Ake. Decore can fix our midfield, but people don't realise for you to fix your defence, you have to get a great midfield still. Exactly. It's not just down to the defence. Do you know what? You made a great point there, Ernest. Very good point. It's no coincidence that our defence looks shit every season when we've got the weakest three in midfield every season. You know, we've got Mesut Ozil and Granit Xhaka, who are just not physical-minded players at all. They don't like to get stuck in. They duck challenges. They duck free kicks. And then you've got Lucas Torreira, who's 5 foot fucking whatever he is. And I'm not saying that that's anything, because Kante is the exception to the rule, isn't he? But, you know, we have that in that three in midfield. That is the weakest three out of the top 10. I don't care what anyone says. That is my opinion on it. That is the weakest three in a midfield in the top 10 in this league. No wonder we get steamrolled by teams every season, because they just walk straight through that midfield. And then they're straight onto one of the most shocking centre-backs we've ever seen in Mustafi, and a 39-year-old, a bit of an exaggeration, but a 39-year-old Lauren Koscielny with one Achilles. Ingars, thank you for your donation. Appreciate that. Hello, Lee. Love the content. We should buy Tierney and Didi, Fraser, Munier and Koulibaly, which would be near impossible for Koulibaly. But yeah, thank you for that. I appreciate that. And I think you're right as well. And if you look at that, it's not going to cost that much money. You know, obviously Koulibaly would, yeah, but I don't think that's a reality for us right now. But if you look at Ndidi, Fraser, Munier and Tierney, what are you looking at in terms of fee? Say 25 for Munier, 25 for Fraser, and Ndidi would be around the 50. So there's 100, about 130 million, 120 million. And that instantly makes our team a hell of a lot better going forward. Get rid of some of these crap players out of the team and you've balanced it straight back up, haven't you? So, I don't know, man. What do you think of Jesse Lingard's video? Says MQ1. Do you know what, right? I've seen a lot of people talking about this video today. I watched Mark Goldbridge talk about it earlier on his channel. And do you know what? My opinion on it is slightly different to what most people think. I'm obviously an outsider. I'm not a Man United fan. Yes, he plays for England. I can't stand the geezer, which is why I don't tend to watch him, right? But this is where I have slightly different on it. He is being put all around social media with people mugging him off. He's on holiday. So what? So what? Let's be real. Just because he plays for Man United don't mean he's not allowed to post videos. Just because they're pissing about, why can't they? They're all having a good time. They're on holiday. Somebody said down here, Martin, as Michael says, he is annoying. Yeah, he is annoying, which is why I don't watch him, Lingard. He's annoying. I don't watch him. I don't like listening to him. But the meltdown about a video of him and his mates on holiday, come on, man. Seriously, this world's gone mad. I swear. This world has gone mad. Next you'll be saying he can't go on holiday. I just find it, he is cringy. He is cringy. I totally agree with all of these comments that are coming in. He's cringy. He's annoying. He winds people up. He looks about 12. He does, to be fair. How old is he? 27? But let's be honest here, right? All these people that are plastering him all around social media, mugging him off, have all done the same sort of shit on holiday with their mates. The only difference is they don't play for Man United. This lot do. So what's the difference? Just let him do what he's doing, man. He has a punchable face. People say that about me as well, mate. Has the Brazilian kid signed yet? Good question, DJ Slicks. It's basically it's signed, sealed, and delivered, just waiting on a work permit, which he has to get a passport from Italy for. He has to get an Italian passport, and then the work permit to come through, hopefully. So it's signed, it's sealed. It's just not been delivered yet. So we shall see. Agent Gunner knows everything, apparently. I don't claim to know anything, mate. Somebody asked me a question, so I answered it. Gabriel Marcotti or Gabriel Martinelli? I can't stand Marcotti, mate. That geezer annoys me, so I don't watch him. It's like his voice just jars me. Andrew, thanks for your donation, buddy. Has anyone shown an interest in El Neni? Probably his wife. That's probably about it. But nobody else has come in for him, mate. We can't even give him away. Will Ozil still be an Arsenal player come the start of the season, says Dorji Gunner. I bloody hope not, mate. I bloody hope not. But we've only got 49 days to do all of these deals, get rid of players, bring players in. So yeah, man, it's not going to be easy to get all of that done in 49 days. So there's going to be a lot of disappointed Arsenal fans in 49 days from now. Shouldn't have drunk that Coke so quick. Seriously, I keep burping now. Right, let's do another 5 minutes, and then I'm going to get myself out of it. I will be back at 9 o'clock to do another stream. 550 people watching live. Please put a like on the video if you are enjoying the content. Also, go to my Instagram, LeeGunner82. Follow me. DM me LS in capital letters, and as soon as I read the DM, I'll follow you back. So yeah, I need to get my Insta up to 10,000 followers so I can link my videos on the swipe up feature. I can't do that under 10,000, so about another 2,500 to go. So yeah, LeeGunner82, DM me. When I read it, I'll follow you back. What did you think of Hamza the other day? Says Gjorgjievski a.f.c. I didn't watch it, mate. I know everyone was raving about him, but I didn't watch it, to be honest with you. I ain't watched any football since that Europa League. Since Champions League final. Well, actually, I didn't even watch the Champions League final. I watched the highlights of that. So I was in France. I didn't even bother watching it. Malcolm, thank you very much. Would you sell a Aubameyang to Man United for £100 million? Somebody asked me this yesterday without saying for 100 million. They just said, would you sell to Man U? If it's £100 million, then it's tempting, isn't it? But not to Man United or Tottenham. Them two, nah. Anybody else? Yeah, 100 million all day long. Lee, when you do your podcast, do them weekly. I enjoy your content. Thank you, Sergio. Very kind words, and thanks for your donation as well, mate. That's the thing as well. Like, I don't know whether to do a weekly one or whether to do a 2 weekly, like a fortnightly one, or whether to do it monthly. I don't know. I've got a lot of interest of people. I've spoke to a lot of people about coming on and stuff like that, and I do want to get people that watch the streams to come on at some point if I can as well. It's not going to be easy because a lot of you don't live in England, so I'd rather do a sit-down face-to-face podcast and do an on-air live podcast, if that makes sense. So yeah. Drink more Stella, it cures colds. Thank you. I've actually got a couple of cold ones in the fridge, believe it or not. Shock. Have a hot curry to clear your illness. Do you know what, mate? I eat fowl, yeah? If for anybody who doesn't know what fowl is, yeah, that is like proper hot and spicy. It's like a proper hot curry, yeah? More like what? Maybe 5 times hotter, 3 times hotter than a vindaloo. I eat that, but my missus won't. So yeah, it's just a waste of money because I'll sit there and it won't all get eaten. But yeah, a hot curry does get it out of you. Maybe go to a sauna for a day, go to a spa day or something, sit in the sauna for an hour. Hugh Wizzy has a sick phone in on his channel. What do you think? I am actually subscribed to Hugh Wizzy. He's a good guy, man. I like Hugh Wizzy. But I haven't watched that particular show, mate, so I wouldn't know, to be honest. I couldn't comment how good or bad that is. Stellar fun. Thank you, VP. Thank you. Smoking weed also cures the throat. Mate, I'm never smoking that shit ever again in my life. Some of these comments. Hugh's meltdowns are second to none. Do you know what, right? If anyone hasn't checked out Hugh's channel, go and check it out. Hugh, just type Hugh Wizzy on YouTube. Yeah, the guy's sound, right? When we lost to Liverpool, not the season just finished, the season before, go and watch that meltdown he done in his kitchen, man. I swear. I swear, I thought I was good at a meltdown, right? This guy is just next level out there, man. It's just unbelievable. But that was one of the best meltdowns and rants I've ever heard. And do you know what? It's funny looking back at it now, but at the time, it wasn't funny. It was just like, do you know what? You're saying everything I feel. Yeah, and I'd been to that game up at Anfield where we got slapped up and it weren't good. But yeah, go and check that out on his channel. It's about 14 months ago or something. I can't remember now. Smoke and fire coming out the wrong end. Right. 3 more questions and then I'm going to go. I will be back at 9. So yeah, we'll have another couple of talking points at 9 o'clock. We'll get some more input from you guys as well. 550 people watching at one point. Please put a like on the video. And also go follow my Insta, LeeGunner82. DM me, just with LS in capital letters, live stream LS. And when I do read it, I will follow you back. So go and do that for me. That would be fantastic. Do you think Maitland-Niles is good enough to play for Arsenal? Says Matt plays FIFA. I do, mate. I do think he is good enough. I think that he was playing out of position all of last season. So yeah, there we go. Thoughts on DT's son and Rance's fight, says Yash Yadev. I'm actually going to that, believe it or not. So I will be there. I think it's going to be a good fight, if I'm being honest with you. Tough to call as well. So yeah, may the best man win. But it should be a good night. Would Eduardo have, this is a brilliant question, would Eduardo have been better than RVP if he had not got that massive injury? That's a possibility, mate. He was a fantastic player, that Edu. Edu was a good player as well, but not as good as them two. But yeah, potentially. But then saying that, Van Persie had a hell of a lot of injuries. So, you know, he could have gone up levels as well. Has Edu delayed our transfer? Which one, mate? The Martinelli one? I don't think so, mate. I don't think he has. I don't know, if I'm being honest. Why aren't we going for Cody from Wolves? Says Bertrand Soup. I agree. Fantastic player, mate. Most overrated Arsenal player ever. We'll end it on that. Mesut Ozil. So thanks for your question, Abhishek. Thanks to over 500 people. Put a like on the video. And I'll be back at 9 o'clock. So I will see you all later. Thanks to everyone who's watched, commented, donated, all of that. Thanks very much. Really appreciate it. And I'll see you at 9 o'clock.